Welcome. It looks like we may only have one person in person, but we're making this available to all our current and prospective majors and minors. This event is for your general information, and you should feel free to follow up with any of us by email. Just a brief introduction, I'm Leslie Irvin. I'm currently the chair of the undergraduate program, and Bridget in her field there, Bridget Selinger, is our program assistant. We also have Michael Lynn and Laurel Eisler with us. They are the academic advisors for our program. Glenda Walden and Amanda Stewart are our colleagues or faculty members who will be talking about their contributions, their roles in the undergraduate program. So to get things started, I'm going to turn things over to the fabulous Michael Lynn to talk about the major. And oh, thank you. There are the emails in the chat. And after Michael, Laurel, would you talk to the students about study abroad and any other related issues that come to mind? So Michael, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Irvin. I'm not sure if I can share my screen or not. Let me
make you host.
Can you do
co-host,
that?
rather.
And perhaps for Laurel as well too.
Will do.
Geez, I'm not sure she planned on sharing the screen or not, but let me know when that's ready and I'll share.
Should be ready.
Okay. Boom. Can everybody see the Sociology Departmental website?
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay, very good. So welcome everybody. Glad to have you here today. I'm Michael Lynn, one of the sociology advisors, and Laurel Eisler will be talking in a few minutes about study abroad, in particular because she used to work in the abroad office. So we have a true expert here. So anyway, quick introduction to the overall major and minor, the nuts and bolts, so to speak, some opportunities within the department, which will be talked about at a little greater length in a few minutes. So this I will also put in the chat, the website for the department. There's a nice little 2-minute video, very nicely produced, what sociology is and the things you can expect to learn, as well as a recent study from the ASA, American Sociological Association, what Soc graduates go on to do. And there's plenty of different things that Soc majors go on to do. But what I'm going to talk about specifically is requirements. So these are the major requirements, and then we'll talk briefly about the minor requirements, which is quite shaved down in a few minutes. So in the Soc major, you need to complete 36 hours minimum. So that's 12 3-credit classes. There are 12 hours of required classes, and then a minimum of 24 hours of what we call electives, pretty much free choice across the board. So we have sociology introduction to sociology. Nobody escapes without taking that class, and the earlier you take this class, the better. It's also a requirement of the minor as well too. So the broad overview of what sociology is, what sociologists do, why it's important, etc. Then we have statistics. Can be done junior year or sophomore year as well, even freshman. Any time is fine for this class. Soci 2061, Introduction to Statistics. And we always tell students or advise them that if their math background is a little shaky, a little weak, you're afraid of math, whatever it might be, you might want to consider taking Math 1212 first. It's a class called Data and Models, which is a foundational class to prepare you to take college level statistics. So you take that class ahead of time and then do statistics later on if you like, or you could just jump into stats if your math background is fairly solid, so to speak. Classical theory, another required class. open to sophomores and above that have completed intro. For many of our majors, this is the first upper division class that they take here at CU. 3,000, 4,000 level or upper division, 1,000, 2,000 level or lower division. And research methods can be done anytime sophomore or above, most commonly taken junior year, but it can even be taken senior year, even your very last semester if you wanted to. There's the prereqs there. Statistics, sophomore or above, and Sociology 1001. But I would typically wait on this for a while. Junior years, again, the most common time. Then we have electives area down here. So these are classes you can choose from a variety of different areas. You have room for some lower division. You have minimum 15 hours of upper division, primarily taken in junior and senior year, although there are some exceptions along the way. And the areas that you can choose classes from, there are some hybrids, but in general, we have classes that you can take from the criminology area, sex and gender, population and health, environmental social, race and ethnicity. And again, so you're going to find some classes that have a blending of different areas as well too. So these are your choices down in here to fill these elective areas. This elective area is separate from here. So 12 hours up here, minimum 24 hours here, up to 33 max. Okay. And then I don't think I need to dive into all of these too deeply. C- minimum for majors, 2.0 GPA. We do have where you can substitute non-Soci statistics for Soci 2061. So for example, if you're potentially a psychology major and you're doing Psych 111 for their stats requirement, that class can be brought right into the audit and for sociology and count for the stats requirement. We have an internship. It's not required. Glenda Walden will be talking about that in a little while. Honors, Amanda Stewart will be talking about that in a little while. And then here's the minor. Oh, I'm sorry, going too fast here. There's lots of interesting websites here of things that are connected. A lot of our social majors and minors tend to be interested in a lot of these different types of things. And then the minor requirements. The minor is a scaled down version of the major, only half the hours, 18 hours total. The required class, again, 1001, the intro class, and 9 hours, the 18 hours must be these 3,000, 4,000 level classes, upper division. So that's just a brief overview of the major and the minor requirements. There's lots of interesting things. Again, we're going to be touching on some of those that are potentially connected with a major or a minor. And I think with that, Professor, where do we go next to?
Let's turn it over to Laurel. Laurel, did you have did you want to share a screen?
Absolutely, that would be great.
I'll stop my share here.
Thank you, Michael.
There we go. Sure, Laurel.
Okay, you should be all set.
Perfect, thank you. All right, thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about study abroad. So one of the many opportunities available to you as a CU student and as a sociology major. Sociology aligns itself particularly well with the concept of study abroad. And by studying sociology abroad, you'll get the chance to experience just how influential social forces and cultural context can be in building societies around the world. So really amazing experience, highly encourage you to take advantage. And we're going to go over some of the basics here. I'm going to share my screen and we'll look at some resources on the Study Abroad website. All right, is everybody seeing my screen here? Perfect. So this is the Study Abroad website. You can access it at abroad.colorado.edu. This is the home page. This is where you would get started on planning and connecting with an education abroad advisor to narrow down your program options, talk about the timeline, the application process, etc. A few resources I wanted to point out on the Education Abroad website. First things first, this Get Started tab here. This is the very first thing you'll want to click on when you come to the Education Abroad website. This takes you to the first steps that you need to take to start the planning process. So the very first thing you need to do is Abroad 101. This is essentially your first advising session, but it is in Canvas. So it's about 15, 20 minutes to complete this Canvas course, and it goes over your program options, the application process, fulfilling degree requirements, program costs, all of the good stuff that you need to know right off the bat. From there, you can start exploring programs on your own, and you can immediately connect with an Education Abroad advisor. So when you click on this right here, this will show you the types of appointments you can make. Education Abroad is open for drop-in in-person advising right now, so you can find them over on the third floor of the Center for Community, or you can schedule a Zoom appointment using the links on this webpage. There are global appointments for students who are just starting out, maybe haven't narrowed down their program options, don't know where they want to go yet. And there are regional appointments, students who have narrowed things down. So a couple of things you can do there. I'm going to take us back to the homepage. Excuse me. A couple more resources here. If you hover over courses and credit, you will find a couple really useful tools. The first are the major guides. We do have a departmental guide for sociology. So if you scroll down here, you will find it. And this will give you some specific advice regarding sociology majors and studying abroad, including some suggested programs and timelines and things like that. So this is a good tool to review. As well, the course approvals list is a sometimes overlooked resource that is really, really useful for searching for programs. There is a program search, which is the most intuitive way, of course, to search for programs, but by using the course approvals list, you can search for programs specifically that offer sociology credit or ANS Gen credit or whatever type of class that you're looking for to take on your program. So you can use the filters here to filter by country, by degree requirement, and by program. The last thing I would like to show you is on this scrolling banner on the front of their homepage, this COVID-19 information on education abroad. Very, very important information to review here. We all know the year and a half we've had and the situation that we've been in. Study abroad programs are running, students are studying abroad, but things do look a little different. So I recommend looking over this information. And if you are interested in pursuing a study abroad program, connect with Education Abroad. It's never too early to start planning, even if you're not planning on going for another couple of years. There's a lot that goes into planning for study abroad. So I would encourage you to connect with Michael, connect with me, connect with Study Office, and we'll help you take advantage of this really amazing opportunity.
Thank you very much, Laura. Okay, terrific. Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to make Amanda Stewart a co-host, and we'll hear about the honors program.
All right. Thank you, Leslie. So I am...
Just a second. All right. It should be good.
Perfect. So I do have just a few slides in PowerPoint that I want to share with you because I know it's easier sometimes just to kind of see everything you need. So I am the current program coordinator for the Sociology Honors Program. Let me resize this a little bit so you can actually see what you should be seeing. So today I want to talk a little bit about just kind of in general, what is honors? I know many sociology students do qualify to be part of the overall honors program, and it's not something that everyone really takes advantage of. So I'll talk a little bit about kind of what is honors in general, and then think a little bit about, who is eligible to apply for the honors thesis option, what is the honors thesis option, and then also, kind of what can you expect from participating in our Soci honors or the thesis process overall. So starting off, what is honors? So honors is kind of part of the arts and science honors. So let me start again. So honors is part of kind of a greater program in the College of Arts and Sciences. It's an optional program, but it's really designed for kind of enrichment purposes to help undergraduate students who are qualified and kind of who desire to have a wider range of experiences here at CU Boulder. So the thesis option that comes from honors actually provides students the ability to, and I think I'm a little bit cut off on the side here. Let's try this again. There we go. So it actually provides you with the opportunity to write and defend a piece of independent research that you've completed over the course of an academic year. And then completing this honors thesis gives you the ability to potentially graduate with Latin honors. And there's a wide range of kind of Latin honors depending on what level your GPA is and kind of where you're at overall. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, some of the recent thesis titles that we've had included Bringing Restorative Justice to NCAA Football, the impact of sex education on LGBTQ plus individuals, as well as the intersection of whiteness and non-binary gender identity. So asking the question of who is eligible, who has the ability to actually apply for this thesis option, and also how do I go about applying for that? So in sociology, to apply for a thesis option, you must be a sociology major. So if you're a minor and are interested in honors, I definitely encourage you to check out what the options are in your major department, or also consider, thinking about, do you have enough time to do a double major as well? Definitely talk to Michael and Laurel about that, because that's always an option. I know sometimes students will be like, I'm so close, maybe that extra semester can get me that double major. So overall, you have to have a minimum GPA of a 3.3 with a sociology GPA that's equal or higher than 3.3. You have to completed a wide range of sociology courses. The application actually asks, what are some of the courses you've taken and how do you feel like those have prepared you for this honors program? And you have to have taken at least one theory and one research methods course. That said, we also have, I feel like, some students who also take research methods almost at the same time that they're starting the honors process as well. And while that's not ideal, we definitely do quite a bit in our honors seminar that kind of helps you prepare for doing that research as well, and kind of, just talking through the process as we're doing it. So to apply for the sociology honors thesis, you can go to our departmental website, and I'll have some links in here that I'll put in the chat also once I'm done, where you can find the application form. Applications for the program are due on April 5th of each year, and they can be emailed. The form actually still says that you need to physically bring them to the main departmental office, but we've changed that a little bit with COVID just to accommodate the fact that not everybody is on campus all the time, myself included. So, and then by the end of April, successful candidates will be notified. And then from there, we start to help you match up with advisors. We start to think about, what is the process to start an IRB and to get permission for doing research. So there's a lot of work that can be done kind of the summer before you start the honors program officially. And just to give you a little bit of an idea about the timing, students typically apply in the spring of their junior year and complete the Soci Honors seminar during fall and spring of their senior year, with a thesis defense then happening in spring. There's a little bit of flexibility to that if anybody is planning on graduating early, or if you're a little bit off cycle in terms of when you're graduating, if you're doing a December graduation or a summer graduation. We can always chat a little bit more and figure out if we can still get you set up to work kind of what we might talk about as off cycle. So what can you expect from participating in our honors program in sociology? And what does the thesis process kind of look like? This is the extremely abridged off version of this. So if you're selected to participate in the program, you then work side by side with your thesis advisor, who's a member of our faculty in the department, and an honors program coordinator, which is currently me. You develop a research question or multiple research questions. You complete a literature review. You collect and analyze data, or sometimes also use existing data. You work through doing interviews, surveys, content analysis, observations. The method that you choose is really up to you and is something that you can decide on in consultation with your thesis advisor, myself, etc. So, and then ultimately you write and defend a thesis. Throughout this process, if you're like, oh, I'm not really sure I can do this on my own, you don't do any of this on your own. You'll be supported throughout the process. There's a 2-semester seminar that's taught by the honors program coordinator, which is currently me, where it's kind of a mixture of a little bit of a support group and troubleshooting group, as well as okay, let's kind of refresh our memories and think about how was it that we did these methods? What do I need to do to get my things passed by the IRB to get everything approved? how do I recruit more than 4 people to do an interview with me? So we answer a lot of those questions. We do a lot of small group brainstorming and just work together to make sure that everyone is as successful as possible. Throughout the process, you also meet weekly, bi-weekly with your thesis advisor, so with your faculty mentor. So really, it's a team process that you are just one of the many members that kind of helps your own success on this. So if anybody does have any questions, and again, I'm always cut off at the ends here. Let me see if I can do this a little bit better. Here's my contact information. I will also pop it up in the chat as well. Ugh, my slides are all over the place today. So thank you very much, and feel free to reach out to me if you do have questions. I'm not on campus this semester, but I'm always available via Zoom to chat with folks. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. That was terrific. One follow-up question that students might have. Could you summarize what you think are the main benefits of doing an honors thesis? It seems like a lot of work. So what am I going to get out of the process?
So it definitely is a lot of work. It's something that I've worked with honors students in the past at my previous institutions. And it's something that a lot of students use as kind of a springboard to think about, is a graduate program maybe right for me? Do I really want to go into a profession that is highly research-based, or I'm more likely to do something that is more maybe social services or social work-based? So really thinking about those things, but it's also just that final chance that you have as an undergraduate to put your skills to work. You learn so many skills, you write so many literature reviews, you write so many short papers, but how often do you get the chance to be like, okay, this is me driving the ship, this is me actually guiding the research, and this is doing something that ultimately kind of helps inform what I want my future to be sometimes as well.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leslie.
Now I will turn it over to Dr. Glenda Walden. Slides to share? Okay.
I do. Thank you.
All right.
And I'll pop my contact info there into the chat for folks.
Okay. You should be good to go.
Fantastic. All right. Am I not cut off? Am I doing good there? All right. So my name is Glenda, and I am the internship program coordinator for the Department of Sociology. And so that means that I garner up all of the paperwork, the legal paperwork that is required with doing internships, as well as facilitate the academic course that is associated with working your internships. And I coordinate the internship class and placement for both sociology majors and minors and our certificate students, with the exception of the Animals and Society certificate, which Dr. Irvin coordinates those internships. But the Care, Health, and Resilience certificate internships and the Social Innovation certificates also come through me. So if you are a certificate student, you can field your inquiries about internships my way, or if you're a sociology major or minor. And I'm just going to start with the benefits of an internship, because it also can be a lot of work. So let's get right to why you might want to engage in an internship. And first and foremost is the opportunity for career exploration. This will give you a little 15-week taste of a field that you might be interested in working in the future. And so we place folks in the domains of, and when I say we place, I mean the students place themselves. We have a list of possible internship sites to get you going. If you have ideas about an organization that you'd like to work with, you're welcome to take that on. But it really is up to the student to make the initial inquiries with the organization and to go through that application process and to select an internship and secure an internship for themselves. And this is an important part of career exploration as well, kind of the job application process. But in this case, it's finding an internship position. So broad ranging areas that folks have worked in the past and continue to: criminal justice, almost all areas of social welfare and social services, medicine, politics, law, education, We do place some folks in research positions. There are some faculty members in sociology that work with undergraduates in their research endeavors. We place folks in business startups. We have quite a few sociology majors who are also business majors, or business majors who are sociology minors, who want to get some experience working in the business world. And so that's acceptable as well. And really the key thing that makes it a sociology internship is taking a sociological perspective on your organization and on your experience for the self-evaluation, for the class discussions, and for your analytical papers for the academic portion of the class. Again, we have folks who are double majors or who are minors who want experience in marketing and advertising, in media. We've had folks who have been interns on the Conan O'Brien. We had one person who was an intern on the Conan O'Brien show and in other media outlets like news services. So we also have a lot of psych majors or dual majors that want a more clinical experience that the psychology internships usually don't provide. They tend to provide more experiential or experimental and laboratory internships. And we have some contacts in the clinical world that give folks who want that kind of experience the opportunity to do so. They just then get to sociologize it for their papers and for their coursework. So you get this wonderful opportunity to have a in the real world experience of something that you may want to further pursue and further develop your skill set towards opening doors in that field. You also get some good work experience. You gain new skills by working in these internship settings, and you can build your resume. In fact, that's one of the assignments in the academic course, is to work with career services to revamp your resume such that it highlights this most recent experience. And you are tasked to request from career services that they assist you in revamping your resume towards opening the next door that you want opened. So is it grad school? Do you need to learn how to turn a resume into a CV and what to include and what not? Do you want to work in the private sphere or the public sphere? And how do you actually tailor your resume to open those doors? So most of, I would say all of the assignments in the academic part of the class are not designed to be busy work. They're designed to really forward you in your next steps. Also, one of the things you get from an internship experience is an additional person who can serve as a reference as you're going into your next steps, someone who's not in a necessarily an academic setting and who may indeed be somebody working in the field you want a job. So this is when your supervisor is impressed with your internship work and performance, then you can have a solid reference in your little tool belt there when taking the next steps. Also, this is a great opportunity to maximize your benefits for your efforts. If you're going to be working at an excuse me, do you hear background noise there? Oh, sorry about that. There's some construction going on in the background. Hopefully it won't be too distracting. Let me see if I can turn up my microphone. There we go. So you can actually have the opportunity to work in potentially your field and earn sociology credits. So many internships are not paid. That's not a prerequisite for it to count as an internship, but the vast majority that are available tend to be unpaid internships. And so for many people, this is a time investment. And so being able to earn credit for it is one way of sort of balancing that. So you can earn credit while building work skills and experience. And most of these positions, you really do get to make a contribution in your community. A lot of folks have turned volunteer experiences that are really in alignment with their passions and their commitment towards social change, social justice, and they've gotten credit for that by having an internship around that experience. The link here is our page from kind of a subpage, I guess, of the sociology department's website, and it has frequently asked questions about internships. It has links to the important forms like the application and the contract that you'll fill out when you secure a position. And gain the signature of your internship supervisor. It's all for university legal purposes, but we have quite a bit of paperwork that goes into the enrollment process for the internship class. And also a document with some potential internship sites is available on that site as well. So I'll leave those details to you, but I do want to do just a little bit here on some of the details that you may want. So many folks ask, how much credit can I earn? You can earn 3 to 6 units of upper division sociology credit for majors and minors. And this is dependent upon the number of hours you work at your internship. A minimum of 90 hours is required for 3 units of credit, and then an additional 40 hours of work at your internship site for additional hours of credit up to 6 units. You can earn that over the course of 1 or 2 semesters, and we offer the course in fall, spring, and summer. You can also, if you're in a certificate program, but you're not a sociology major or minor, you can earn 3 units of credit towards the certificate. And the criteria for enrolling are very much the same as being a major or a minor. In order to qualify for an internship course, you need to be a junior or senior at the start of the semester that you are enrolling in the course. You need to have a minimum GPA 2.0 overall and in your major. Sorry about that. And have taken Introduction to Sociology and either theory, Soci 3001, or an equivalent upper division sociology course with the approval of the program coordinator, who is me. And if you are interested in an internship for spring or summer, this being October, now is a great time to apply. The application is linked at the bottom of the website that I gave you the link for earlier. And you can even start contacting organizations now and seeing what their availability is and what types of things are available and what the process is for securing a position. I do want to say something about our summer program, though, because the summer internship opportunities sometimes make this more accessible to folks who are working during the school year, and it may seem like they don't have the time to work an additional 90 hours without pay and take an additional course. So we have partnered with the continuing education department to make the summer internship opportunities extremely affordable and extremely flexible. So I want to boldly assert that this is one of the most cost-efficient ways of earning summer credit, and especially if you are an out-of-state student. It's also a way of being able to look for an internship if you're an out-of-state student, in the state that you eventually want to live and work in. And maybe that's the home state where you live, where you go home, where you can live for free with the parents, and then you have more time and energy to work a job. And the summer course is all online, so you can take it from anywhere in the world at this point, because we've now been working with the Education Abroad Department for international internships as well. So if you find something anywhere in the world, it may be possible to earn internship credit. And also, we've mentioned that it's online and that the cost is really about half what a summer class at CU costs when you add in the campus fees and that kind of thing. So our cost is $250 a unit, and that's the same for in-state and out-of-state students. It is slightly different if you are taking an international internship course. That's through the Education Abroad department, and they can help you with that. I just kind of am the final approver of the position and of the academic work. So I highly encourage you, if you have any questions about that, to come talk with me and to think about summer as a valuable opportunity for doing something that maybe you thought was out of reach because of your commitments during the academic year, where we hope that this makes it more accessible to more students. And if you have any questions or want to talk to me about that, there's my email as well.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'll just build on that to talk a little bit about the Animals in Society certificate, which, although you can do it independent the Animals in Society certificate requires the Animals in Society internship. Although you can do the internship independent of the certificate, most of the students I work with are doing the certificate. So I run it separately because I have a few contacts, not a few, more than a few contacts that students can rely on in the animal welfare community. And it does require that students work in an animal welfare setting. And because the certificate is interdisciplinary, it is open to non-sociology majors. But I think pretty much everything else is the same across the two certificates. So likewise, I would be happy to answer questions. For all of this information, we've tried to make our website as comprehensive as possible. You can find all of us there. You can find our emails there. Michael Lynn has put a lot of great links in the chat for you today. But otherwise, I think, does anybody else want to chime in before we sign off?
I have a quick question for Glenda, if I may. So Glenda, in advising, I often meet with students that want to do an internship, but they don't know how to start. How do I reach out and contact an organization? Am I doing it in the right way? Do you have any tips or suggestions on how a student would even begin that process of reaching out?
Certainly. The wonderful world of the World Wide Web is a great place to start. The vast majority of these organizations have a website, and they'll have a tab that says get involved. And there will usually be, sometimes they frame it as volunteer, sometimes they frame it as internships, sometimes it's career opportunities, but there will almost always be a contact. In our list of possible organizations, we used to update them with individual emails for people to contact with all of these organizations, and that's just impossible in nonprofit organizations. The turnover rate is usually quite rapid, and so just sending people to the website and the Get Involved tab is a wonderful first place to start.
And before we sign off, I think we have one student in person. Kelsey, if you could shoot me your email in the chat, I have a little gift for you for attending in person. So everyone else, thank you so much for your time. And for students, we are happy to have you as a major, a minor, and if you're not a major or minor already, we hope we've convinced you that it's a good idea. We'd love to talk with you further. And meanwhile, thanks for watching. Take care.